What's up, people? I'm back again talking electric unicycles, talking about the KS16X, and namely we're talking about the seat. This seat here that was made for this, and that I got from E-Wheels. Thanks a lot, Jason. I appreciate you rushing this out to me. Now, this gave me an opportunity to compare. If you didn't see my previous video where I put a bicycle seat on this same KS16X, I'll link that in the cards up above. You can take a peek at that video before now, or you can take a peek at it after, either way. Now I'm going to talk about the differences and show you some video of me riding this new seat right now. Let's go. Major differences in between these two seats is the size. The height on where it rests, because that was a big key as to why I did the previous seat, and the comfort, and the way that it attaches, I guess, and the security that's offered by each seat. So we'll talk about each thing a little at a time, and I'll show you some clips of me riding this thing. Now, first of all, I love the fact that it's so long. And I love the fact that it sits on here, because the handle, I put some Velcro on there to hold it down so that I wouldn't lose it while I was riding in case I kicked it off. But the handle that's on it has a little bit of play on it, if you remember from before. But when you sit this on top, then you have a nice foundation to sit on. And it made a huge difference when riding seated. Now, I can tell you right out the gate, right from the beginning, I was automatically feeling that there was no way I was gonna get used to riding this that low. My knees aren't the greatest, I'm not the youngest, so bending so far to sit down on this seemed like a bad idea to me. However, I figured I'd give it a shot. You know, you never know until you give something a chance, so I did. First, I put the bicycle seat on, and it was so easy to sit on that bicycle seat because of the height of it. The bicycle seat came up about here. And yes, that offered me ease when it came to sitting on it, but it did give me a little more weight and a little bit of an obstacle when braking, because as I put my legs back and sat lower to brake, I had to go past the seat. This gives a different angle because it's the same width as the KS16X, so there's no extra. And honestly, I found myself forgetting that I had this on here. So let's talk about one thing at a time. Okay, the height. This is a lot lower. It was a lot harder to learn to sit on. It took me a good bit of riding today. Today's the first day that I really rode with it a lot and really sat down. So it took a lot more getting used to. The bicycle seat was a lot easier to get used to. It just worked. So as far as height, that's the difference. As far as width, because the bicycle seat, like I said, is a little bit wider, it was harder because when I went to brake and my legs did bump into it, and I had to sometimes if I was braking hard, I had to slide my legs, open them a little bit and slide my legs around to behind the seat, which was a little weird. And in braking, it posed a little bit of a problem. And I didn't feel like it when I had it. I didn't feel like when I had that seat on there, I didn't feel like it caused a problem because I was comfortable with it. I got used to it. Then when I put this seat on, and it's so much lower and it's out of the way and it's designed for it, I found that I realized at that time the weight that was on it before. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't notice the weight when I had it. I didn't notice that it was getting in the way a little bit until I put this on, and then I realized the difference. The bicycle seat was too high. I wish I could have mounted it, or I wish I would have mounted it directly to the handle a little closer, but I can't because of the button that's on the handle. So you can't mount it directly. You have to have something to give it a little height so that you're not pushing the disengage or the engage handle for the gauge button for the handle. So as far as height goes, and as far as the width goes, and as far as the weight goes, they were all an issue that I didn't think I was going to have. And then I found out later that I did. Now, when it comes to ease of use, hands down the bicycle seat wins. Just because of how easy it was to sit on. Now, when I say ease of use, I'm talking about sitting down and standing up quickly and being comfortable. The bicycle seat is definitely better at that, or for that rather. However, this one wins in every other category. I'm glad it's as long as it is because it's this low, you have to sit if you have any height, and I'm not super tall, but I'm 5'11", and being able to sit on the back of this way back here is definitely something that I needed. But with some practice, I really did get used to it, and I must say I'm really happy with this seat now, extremely happy, and I can't wait to try it out when I'm doing more rides for longer distances. And I'm glad that, I mean, I rode like 10 miles yesterday, and I was shredding it up with this thing and completely forgot that I had the seat on it. And it wasn't until today I said, wait a minute, let me just go out and go directly just to ride the seat. And that's what I did. We found a nice area to go ride, and we rode the seat, and it went well. Showtime was with me, so thanks goes out to Showtime. She came along to make sure she could try it out too, and we could see the difference between 5'11" guy and a woman who's shorter, what the differences are between us in trying to ride this specific seat. We also brought the MSX along, and she had an improvised seat that she inherited when she bought that wheel, so we tried that out too. So if you look at some of the video that I have here, you can see that this is really smooth, and the acceleration is so easy. I thought I was gonna have a hard time trying to accelerate and decelerate, and braking still is a little tricky. You have to remember that, you utilize your feet and your body to do the braking, so that's still a little tricky. But the acceleration, I got really good at it, a little too good at it. At one point I leaned forward and tried to see how fast I could accelerate, because this thing takes off like a beast, and then I didn't realize how fast I was going, and all of a sudden my alarms at 30 miles an hour were beeping, and I was like, whoa, and I had to back off quickly, and luckily I was able to back off quick enough, and I didn't have any any incidents, because I don't need any more of those. You can see when I ride with all my gear on to make sure that if I do have any more, I'm not gonna get hurt. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to give you a quick update on how it was riding this as compared to riding the bicycle seat on here, and give you a little bit of information so you can make the decision whether you want to improvise and put your bicycle seat on there, or whether you want to go with the King Song seat that they make directly for the 16X. It's your choice. I'm just glad that I have a choice to do either, because right now I think I'm just gonna stick with this, but if I decided to go back, I always have the seat ready and available. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.